have bursted lately?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure no particle accelerators have burst.
I've been watching nothing but The Flash lately, if you haven't noticed. The Flash,
God.
Supergirl, Arrow.
I haven't seen Supergirl yet, but the Flash is just like...
It's a little stupid. It is.
Ugh, just like the acting is what I can't get over with.
See,
I mean, no, go ahead.
It's hilarious. I don't know why, but he's just... Because he's just like all serious one moment, and then he's just like, someone does something, he's like, you guys are fucking idiots, pretty much.
Yeah, I don't know. I can't get over the acting, and I think the acting's just horrible, and all the DC stuff that comes out. Like, it's just really like, who writes this shit? It's not even funny, and they're trying to like just put a laugh track on there and make it a 1980s sitcom. Like, same shit, except this guy runs fast.
Well, and there was this one part that I was watching last night. This guy's a Mr. I don't know what they call him, but he's stretchy. That's all he is he's like super stretchy, like Mr. Fantastic. And some guy was trying to rob them with a gun, and he shot him in the back because they were discussing how they were going to handle this situation. They told the robber, give us 1 minute while we talk about this. They turned their backs, and they were just trying to figure out how they were going to handle it. Well, then the guy shot him, and it went right like in him, and then it shot back and shot the guy in the leg. Then he shot him again and went through him again and shot the robber in the ass. And then all you see him, he's just like, okay, you're not supposed to shoot people. He's like, I didn't shoot him. Like, he shot me and it bounced off of me and went there.
Not all, like, all right, that's not even like remotely believable. That's dumb. You shoot a rubber band or a whoopee cushion, which is basically a flat, round rubber band, it's going to go through the fucking thing. Yeah, but he's a superhero. It doesn't make a difference. It doesn't make it good fucking TV.
But it's super entertaining. That's all it is. It's
No,
just entertaining. It is.
It's not even entertainment. It's just shit that you put on in the background.
I watch it. Well, I mean, I have a small mind, so maybe that's why I like it.
Kendra watches it too, and I just can't. I can't get over it. I don't know. I don't think it's a small mind. No, I think it's just... I don't like it. It's not my cup of tea. Well, good. We've been recording for the last 2.5 minutes.
Oh.
So everybody's getting a little bit of a diatribe on why we bitch about DC.
I like it.
You're wrong.
You're wrong. Would
Hello?
be the first time.
Yeah. Well. Hello and welcome to a Topic a Month podcast where we take one topic a month and split it into weekly segments. This month's topic, for those of you just jumping in, is religion. What a fun, light topic for you we have tonight. Back again for an encore of our first appearance is my very own sister-in-law, Brianna.
Hi.
Hello. Oh, we're going to start out this episode where we left off from the previous in no particular order, of course. We know what we believe, so let's figure out a little more as to why. With utmost certainty, we'll meander a little bit, as I'm sure you've come to expect from us. And now, on with the show.
Your wish was so weird.
I know. It works. It's a good thing I can go back and edit out some of this stuff.
Damn it.
Usually don't, but sometimes I will. I'm assuming for this one we'll probably have to edit it a little bit. So how was your day?
I had a half day, so it was very good.
A half day from work?
Yes, I decided I was going to leave at 2, so I walked out at 2 o'clock.
Trade you. I wish I could do that. That'd be awesome.
I was supposed to do it yesterday, but everyone was a dick yesterday, so I had to stay.
Oh.
Joyce being the boss. Woo.
Yay. So what else did you do? What else did you do on your half day? God, it's like being in elementary school again. Fuck yeah, half day, bitches. Go home for lunch.
Right. Let's see. I went to the bank. I paid some bills. I went to the nursing home where Mom works, my mom, and my grandma played the piano. And then I went to an antique store. And then I went out to dinner, and now I'm here.
So you did old people things.
Yes.
For like most of your half day.
Yes.
Wasn't anything fun, like go to a movie, go to the arcade? Dating myself. I remember arcades.
No, I don't think I've ever been to an arcade.
Well,
Does Thrills count?
with thrills?
Or Adventure Zone or whatever the place.
It's not the same kind of thing. I'm talking old arcade with like Pac-Man.
Yeah, no.
Okay.
I almost just said Pokemon.
Pokemon. Yeah. All right. Fucking young people. They're Pokemon. Hate it when people do that too. Say Pokemon. Fuck off. It's Pokemon. Like, pronounce it correctly.
Okay, sorry. Stop
Goddamn.
yelling at me.
No. So what else did you do? You good weekend? Good weekend? Good time?
I worked 14 hours and then I laid in bed. So yeah, it was a pretty good weekend.
Sweet. That would be...
Went to church on Sunday, came home and literally laid in bed all day long and didn't want to do anything.
Right on. Oh, it's church? Church good?
Church was good.
Good.
My cousin played a recital on his trumpet for the first time in front of people.
That must have been kind of nerve-wracking.
Yes, he tried very, very hard, and it was very...
Trumpety.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, it's good to stand up in front of people you know and do it first, because then
Yes.
you can get over that part, and then when you do it in band or something. Is he in band?
I think so.
That's probably why he was more nervous. When you're in band, you have that collective of everybody's here fucking up, so that
And
way
he was like
I'm
facing
okay.
down, like the whole time. He was like facing down reading his music, so it was like hard for him to like play correctly.
Yeah, you got to face up and project with the trumpet.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
it was such a great effort.
Solid effort.
Yes.
Solid. A for trying.
Yes.
Excellent. Well, that's good. That's good. Wow. Should we get into it a little bit?
Sure.
Okay. So we kind of know what you believe. So why do you believe in your religion? I'm putting you on the spot. Remember, I can edit this out so it's streamlined, so you have these answers like right off,
Okay.
like you've heard them before.
Okay. So I would say it's because it gives me a sense of hope for the future that things will. It gives me hope that there's always going to be, like, even though he's like Jesus and God are not physically here with me like you are with me, he's still with me, so I'm never alone. You know, and it's a good feeling to have that I'm never alone. I always have someone to talk to.
Right.
Which is not like a crazy person talking. I know that's what you're thinking. I can see it. But it's just, I don't know. It's just nice because I always have a friend. Someone who will never leave me, no matter how much I might piss him off or whatever I do. He's always going to be there with me. And it's a very good feeling to have. And that's why I believe, is because I have a friend that loves me.
Aw, that's sweet.
Yes.
Okay. Can you elaborate a little bit more on that? Like, why are you sticking with this religion rather than going into any other? Why Christianity? Why not Islam? Why not Buddhism? Why not Baha'i? Why not Scientology, Mormonism, Judaism, Jehovah's Witness, or any of the other slew?
So I don't want to like make this sound bad at all.
It's going to come out bad, isn't it?
It is.
That's okay. We say fuck a lot on here, so it's just fine.
I mean, in my opinion, a lot of other religions you have to do a lot. From what I've seen, you have to do a lot. I mean, what I feel like all I have to do is I have to repent my sins, and I have to love God, you know, and I have to pray and I have to talk to him. But I know there are other religions out there that you have to like pray like 8 times a day. You have to fast this many times. You have to do this. You have to do that. And it's just like that. Just is like, seems like so much work to get that little piece of clarity.
Yeah, but you don't have to do all those things, though. I mean, you can be Islamic and not do any of them. You can be Catholic and not go through any of that and still be Catholic. Same thing with being Jewish.
Well, I suppose, but...
So what would the difference there be? I mean, as far as why not?
Like, what do you mean?
Like, why did you choose to be Baptist rather than choose to be something else?
Well, like we talked about last time, I was raised Baptist. You know, my mom went to church. She forced me to go to church every single Sunday. And I remember I hated I was so mad because Kendra and Jake didn't have to go, but we had to go every single Sunday. And then it was that thing one after the other. You know, I always knew Sunday mornings I was going to church. It was that repetitiveness.
Sure.
And so when I got older and I had that choice where I didn't have to go, I didn't go, you know, but something felt off. And I think I got in that habit of like needing that like competitive, like that constant, like repetitive Sunday go to church. And now I'm able to just like, you know, study it. And now I want to go to church. Now it's not something I'd have to do where something feels like, I don't know.
Well, say you picked a different religion.
Okay.
Which one would you choose? Would you stick with doing that? Like, say you were born into a Baptist religion. Why not just pick something else? Why not say you want to be Lutheran?
Well, and right now I don't classify myself as a Baptist. I don't classify myself as a Lutheran, or because I go to a Baptist church, but then I went to a Lutheran church.
So just you...
I'm a Christian. Like, that's what I clarify myself as a Christian, because I'm not I'm not a denomination of it.
Right.
Like Baptist or Catholic or Lutheran or whatever million other ones there might be.
Yeah. Okay, I get it. So how about, would you choose something that's not of the Christian faith? Would you choose something that is...
I was interested in, like, Egyptian, like, stuff for a really long time.
Sure.
Like, I was obsessed with their gods and, like, all of their, like, what they did and stuff like that, but it didn't give me any sense of anything. Like, I didn't... It's kind of like, okay. It's, like, interesting, but I don't get that same sense of peace or companionship that I'd get with my faith.
Right on.
But if I were to choose one... I don't know. That's hard. If I had to choose something else to believe in that wasn't Christian, I don't know what I would choose.
You could do Jainism. That one's actually kind of neat. They do absolutely no harm to anything.
Like insects? Because I'd have to kill insects.
Insects. They do they are like the most peaceful belief system on the entire planet. Like there is
So then why isn't everybody then? Because then that would cut down on so many wars and
no, it really would.
hatred.
Yeah, it really would. But got to choose the right God.
No, I didn't know that one.
Yeah, no, it's actually kind of neat. It's actually kind of neat. I don't know really the specifics of it. I guess they can take it a little too far, however. But yeah, how do you take being peaceful too far? I guess if you're going to be Switzerland-esque in what you choose to be peaceful about, I would suppose, but I don't know too much about it other than like this is literally the religion of peace. Like Islam says they're not, but they are like literally the religion of peace. It's super fucking cool, but at the same time, like, man, spiders, come on.
Right? If I see a spider, I'm going to kill it.
The fucking pinchers and shit.
Yes. I just watched a video the other day, and it was like all these like terrifying insects, and I'm like, yep, I'd kill all of those. And I don't want to kill things, but I would kill that if I saw it.
No, not that. That's why we live in Minnesota, where everything dies in the winter. All the people who are scared of bugs live up here.
Yes. Don't go out in the summer. It sucks because there's a lot of insects out in summer.
It's just fucking mosquitoes and what the fuck else out there? That's all I really know. That's all we have. It's just mosquitoes and wood ticks.
Yes.
That's fucking it. It's terrible up here. God damn, they're everywhere. They come out of the woodwork. Let's see. So, have you questioned your belief in the past, or in currently, or whenever? Obviously, it would be in the past, since I'm asking you a question about it, or currently.
I've questioned it many times. When I was a kid, feeling like I was forced to go to church, I'd always sit like, "Why am I going here? I don't understand any of this. Like, I didn't get it." And things would happen, like, I'd see all these people at church, like, well, they're all Christian, and they have two parents who love each other. And then I got my mom and my dad here, but then I have my real dad and my stepmom in Missouri, and people would always outcast me because I had divorced parents. So then I'd sit there and be like, well, why do you let divorce happen? Like, it doesn't make sense to me. So, like, as a kid, that's what I would do. I'd always say, I don't get it. Like, I go to church. My mom goes to church. Like, why is all of this happening to us? Granted, I didn't know that my dad was a cheat, and all he did was cheat on people. But that's a side note.
Yeah, that's a separate conversation. But
Yes.
yeah, okay, okay.
And then once I got to, like, when I moved out for the first time, you know, I started hanging out with my friends more, drinking and smoking. And I'm like, well, why do you, like, you go to church and you have to be this perfect person and you have to, you know, look a certain way and you have to act a certain way. And it's like, well, fuck this. I don't want to do this shit. I want to do whatever I want to do. And I just is like, I don't get it. It's that whole thing. I don't get it.
Right
There's
on.
a couple times it just. And then when I would get super depressed, you know, it's like, well, why are you letting me get depressed?
So are you questioning? Are you questioning more of why is your belief in God letting these things happen to you, or are you questioning the existence of it?
I'm questioning why he's letting it happen. But then there's times where it's like when you see all of the hatred going on in the world, you know,
Mhm.
like all of these people dying, you know, martyrs or whatever. They could be martyrs for their own faith. You know, why would God let this happen? You know, like why? Like there's been times where I didn't flat out believe anything. And I flat out said, I was just like, well, there's no God. And someone asked me why. And I'm like, because why are they letting all these babies die? Why is they doing this? Why are they doing
Fair
that?
question.
Like, and I'm like, I hate to say that because, like, what I believe now, but back then, that's what I kept saying. Is like, why is this happening? It doesn't make sense.
So what changed between then and now in that interpretation of that reality?
When I started studying more and I started having one-on-one talks with my pastor, and God, from what I understand, which I could be wrong, but from what I understand is that God lets us make choices.
Right.
You know, he gave us free will. He wants us to make a choice. Is he happy with babies dying? Is he happy with all this? No. In my opinion, no. He is not happy with this, but it's our choice. These are people's free will doing. They're doing this.
Well, how does a child in the womb have free will when it gets cancer or brain tumors? How is that free will?
I have no idea. I
Okay.
have no idea. What I choose to believe in that is that they were too perfect for this world. And I like to be...
It's a very rose-tinted glasses.
Yes, it is. You know, they were just too perfect for this world that they couldn't. Or there was something that could have been worse, you know, that could have been when they would have had like way more complications or something like that where it's just, but I don't know.
Could it be by chance that they got brain tumors or cancer or
Well, absolutely.
deformities
Yeah, absolutely.
and not by design?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Because I don't think, like, I still believe that we are born, you know, with our family genetics all the way back from like our great grandparents and whatever. It's family genetics. I'm not saying I don't believe in like that stuff because it's obvious. I mean, my whole dad's side of the family had breast cancer. There's a huge chance I'm going to get breast cancer when I get older. It's just, it's common knowledge. You know, I don't disbelieve the science stuff, but it's just, it is what I just come to. It is what it is.
Okay.
I don't know if that makes any help at all.
You're
Makes
kind of a little bit, yeah. Can you kind of elaborate on that? Because I mean, I kind of understand where you're going, but I think we should flesh that out a little bit more.
Okay. Genetic wise, you know, we can't, I don't think God chooses, okay, this person is going to be blonde. This person is going to be brunette. Because if you think about it, all the way in the beginning of Adam and Eve, they had, I mean, no one really knows, but I'm pretty sure they were brown hair and brown eyes. From everything I've seen, they were brown hair, brown eyes. So how did all of this, you know, like blonde hair, blue eyes, red hair, all this stuff come to be? Well, to a certain extent, I believe in evolution. Do I believe in the Big Bang Theory? No. Do I believe that we came from a monkey? No.
We did not come from monkeys, and you are true with that. We came from a common ancestor. There's the difference.
A what?
A common ancestor. Okay, evolution isn't linear, right? There wasn't monkey, ape, human, right?
No, you forgot the caveman.
You know what I mean. Neanderthal, human. That's a huge misconception on how evolution actually works.
Okay.
Right? So evolution is there's a common ancestor. Take an ape a million years ago, whatever. It branches out like a tree. We're somewhere up here. Common ancestor is down here. A lot of the apes can trace everything all the way back down to that common ancestor.
Okay.
That's how evolution works. It's not one straight line, one thing after the other after the other. The whole why are there still monkeys thing is a fallacy. In the same way as Adam was created from dust, why is there still dust?
Yeah, you totally just lost me there, but okay.
Okay, Adam was created from the earth, right?
Yes.
Okay, why is there still dust? It's that same argument that doesn't hold truth of why are there still monkeys. We didn't come from monkeys. Okay, we came from a common ancestor, right?
Okay.
So take like a tree. The trunk, the base of it, where everything pretty much began, and then it goes up and branches out, and you get tons and tons of millions and billions of different species of everything.
Okay.
That's how evolution works.
Oh, okay.
We didn't come from a monkey.
Damn it.
Anybody who says we come from a monkey doesn't quite understand what evolution is.
Okay. Do I need to do that again?
There's babies on the screen. Yes, you do.
I get to see those babies in a couple of days.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry. You have to deal with them for a lot longer than I knew. Okay. But like I was saying before we got slightly
Yes.
off topic, I do believe in evolution to a certain extent. I believe in like adaptation, I should say, not maybe evolution more so as adaptation, unless that's the same thing.
I don't know exactly what you mean.
Well, like, you know, animals, you know, adapting to their surroundings and stuff like that.
Pretty much the same kind of thing. We adapt to our surroundings, but it's not just that.
Yeah. But I do believe to a certain extent that the body has, you know, changed throughout the years, or just things have happened, you know, different. Hard for me to explain, because I just think that, like, to a certain extent, like, things just come up in our genetic material, that it just happens.
Like what? I don't understand. Like what?
Like
just
cancer.
happened? Oh,
like
yeah.
Cancer just kind of comes up. Like, you can also look at someone who has no cancer history at all in their entire family, and then all of a sudden they have cancer.
Yeah. Generally, everybody will get cancer on a long enough timeline, because that's how our cells work. On a long enough timeline, everybody will, because there's always those abnormalities. Some people, it comes in right away when they're a kid, or sometimes it's when they're 80, they get cancer. Most guys, 40% will have colon cancer or something wrong with their colon by the time they're in their 60s. Normally, it doesn't have any effect on their body whatsoever. They just have cancerous cells. That's cancer. It doesn't always have to metastasize into something worse. But, yeah, everybody will get cancer or something. Everybody will have something that's wrong with them. Everybody will have something that's right with them. But, yeah, no, I get what you're saying.
Don't, I mean, I don't know why. I think it just kind of, like, it is what it is. It happens. And I think that's part of what... I don't know where I was going with that one. Okay, next question. That just drawn out, and I'm just lost now.
Oh, put a mark down. Approximately 27 minutes ish.
Sorry, people. I know he's gonna delete that part.
We keep the whole thing in.
Wow, that's a lot. 50 episodes.
52. It's gonna be.
It says 50 episodes.
Eventually 52. So you said you've questioned your belief. So why did you come back to this conclusion that there is a God or a savior or anything along spirituality?
I got tired of feeling like depressed. Like, I'm depressed now. I do have them every once in a while. Like, for a month, I didn't want to do anything but lay in bed. And I literally laid in bed for a whole month. It was really, my house is a mess. But I was, more or less, I needed there to be something. And I guess I went back to Christianity because of the fact that I was raised in a Christian home.
Right.
And I kind of went back to that. I was like, okay, well, let's go back to church, And then when I was younger, it was always there. It's that one constant thing in my life, And and that was the main thing of that. I went back, and I was so tired and done with being depressed and feel like everybody needs something from me that I can't keep. I'm giving literally my whole entire being to somebody, and yet I'm not getting anything back. And I wanted there to be something else, like something else that doesn't need everything from me. And so that's why I decided to go back to church, because it's like I needed to find that something. And now I didn't go to church. Maybe I went to a temple. Maybe I looked somewhere else and I maybe have gotten the same feeling. But I went back to church because it was that constant thing in my growing up.
Right.
And I got yelled at by my mom and grandma for not going to church.
Okay.
That was like maybe 5%.
5%?
Like 5%.
A little bit of a guilt trip to go back to church.
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
My mom's really good at that. People, if you ever meet my mom, she's so good at it.
I haven't really noticed any guilt tripping. But
you're her favorite son-in-law right now.
apparently.
So
Well, when it gets out that I don't believe in her God, I'm not
she
going to
knows.
be. Oh, does she really?
Oh, she knows.
Oh, she doesn't want to come on the podcast, though.
She does, actually.
Does
I've
she
just
really?
been really scared to actually tell you. I'm sorry.
I don't really care. She can come on.
I want to preserve the relationship in this family because...
So, I respect her, not the idea of God.
Mm-hmm. But Mom believes in God, and she doesn't want to argue it to a certain... She just doesn't want to argue that there's not a God.
Well, then why would she come on the podcast?
That's the thing. Like, she doesn't think she thinks she's going to, like, change her mind or something. I don't know.
Oh, no, that's not going to happen.
That's what I'm saying. That's why I've been like, I don't think this is a good idea. And plus, Dad doesn't want her to either. Dad's like, you're not going on there.
Oh, okay. I mean, chances are I'm not going to change anybody's mind. Obviously not. That doesn't really happen. People have to come to their own decision given the information that is presented to them, whether or not something is real or not. Like, that's how it works.
Yeah.
I mean, you can give somebody the reason and the ability to come out of a conclusion, whatever conclusion about whatever anything is. Strawberry milk is best milk versus banana milk.
They both suck.
See? But if you could change somebody's mind, like, yeah, actually, strawberry milk actually is kind of good.
Suggestion.
Well, it's not really power of suggestion. That's misleading. It's giving them the ability to say, okay, this is what is possible. This is not what is possible.
Yes.
Like,
there's
no way to... You can debate it all night long until you're blue in the face.
I can't even do it with my mom. Like, me and my mom can't even talk about religion together at all. Because, like, I'll believe one thing, like, version of something I've heard from my pastor or something that I felt like I've reached the conclusion of. And I can talk to her about it, and she will tell me I'm wrong. And she will tell me, well, that's not true. This is true, and this, and this, and this, and this.
It's very vociferous.
Yeah, it's very annoying. I love my mother to death. I would do anything for her. But I will not talk about religion with her anymore. Dad, on the other hand, I will. Because Dad's like, okay, cool. That's awesome. Mom, she's scary.
Tony's very...
Laid back.
Laid back, doesn't really care.
Not really.
Kendra's kind of the same way.
Unless you hurt one of his kids.
Yeah.
Future reference. Don't hurt his kid.
What I do. She hurts me.
That's true.
I have bite marks and beatings and okay.
Are you deleting that part too?
No.
Okay.
Well, some of it I might edit up a little bit.
My mom is one of those scary Christian women. The women that you see in like in the movies where it's like, you're wrong, you're this and that and stuff like that. She can get a little scary sometimes, but then at the same time, she can just religion is always one of those topics we just don't talk about. Because she's also got like gay friends. She doesn't believe in the gay marriage or anything like that, but she's got gay friends.
Yeah, I don't understand that. That's completely separate.
I don't. Oh, it's one of those things where it's like, when you want to have like a in-depth conversation with her about religion, she's got that power to make you feel, well, maybe it's just me. You probably wouldn't have this, but she makes you feel very inferior, like you don't know necessarily what you're talking about.
Yeah, I can't see it, but I understand what you're talking about, most definitely.
But she's one of those very scary ladies sometimes.
Oh, yeah. If she wants to come on the podcast, I'm
waiting for her to take that Bible and hit me upside the head with it one of these days.
Oh, just bring another version of the Bible.
Okay.
Don't bring the King James version that's been edited.
Okay. Oh crap, that's one I have in my house.
Bring another version that's been edited.
Okay.
Pick one that's been edited.
Bible. I'll do the study Bible one though.
Yeah, get Chicken Soup for the Soul Bible edition.
Okay.
Yeah.
I can write that down.
So that's a good question. What about gay marriage? What about homosexuality?
See, this is where I'm really different than than a lot of the Christians I've talked to, because I know this does not make sense, but I don't believe it's right. I don't.
Why?
I just maybe I just keep going back to Sodom and Gomorrah. Do you know Sodom and Gomorrah?
Oh, okay. Yeah, no, I know
I'm just
Sodom and Gomorrah.
I'm sorry. I was just making sure. But I just keep going back to, it's just, I just feel like it also just doesn't, but I don't personally believe it's right. I will not do it. You know, I'm not going to lay with a woman. I'm not going to do that. But
because you don't find women sexually attractive.
No, but I can tell you if someone looks super cute, or I will tell you someone looks hot. But would I do them? No. But I just like, it's your body. It's what you want to do. Do it. I don't care. Don't shove it down my throat.
Right.
I've had some people I had one guy, I loved him to death. He was a great guy. He was very, very, very gay. And he literally, oh my God, she's so cute. You should have sex with her. Oh my God, she's so like perfect. Like you guys would make like the perfect couple. All of this every single day. I'm like, dude, I don't want to do that. That's not my choice. And he's just like, well, this and that. And then he's like, they need to go off and on about other stuff. And I'm like, dude, I don't want to die. Like, dude, that's your life. That's what you want to do. Go do it.
Right.
You do you. But when it gets to a point where it's like, I'm like, I just don't believe in it or whatever. I don't personally want to do that or whatever. He would get super offended, like something was wrong with me because I wasn't gay. And then he would keep berating, I think that's the correct word, berating me about it all of the time. And I felt like he was just trying to shove it down my throat.
Right, and that's just him.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Like, that's the kind of thing I don't like.
No,
but
I mean, you can put that into anything.
Well, yeah, I know, but...
Okay.
I know.
I just want to make sure we're on the same the same pace.
That's the same like politics or anything else. Like you do whatever you want to do. If you want to love a tree, go love a tree. I don't care.
Right on.
Just don't berate me about it and don't shove it down my throat because I'm not going to try to shove my religion down your throat. You're going to hell because you've had sex with a man. You're going to go to hell because you dyed your hair. I don't know. Whatever it is. Because I'd be the number one to dye my hair every 5 months. But I'm not that kind of person. Like, I'm just more like, I will love you because you are a nice person.
Good.
But just as long as you love me for being, a nice person. But it's like...
I'm sure that's pretty much reciprocal anywhere.
Yeah.
For the most part, anyway.
But there are some people who are just like, oh, they're gay, I'm done. And walk away. It's like, you don't know what kind of person they are.
Right. A lot of times, and I've noticed this too among people, is when somebody figures somebody else out as gay, that is who they are now. They are the gay Chris. That is it. That is their label. That is their entire embodiment is in their sexuality, when it really isn't. they love men or they love women. So what?
I just found out one of my best friends is bisexual.
Yeah.
Best friend. And
who
I'm like,
cares?
cool, you want to go get coffee tomorrow or something like that? Like, I don't care.
Right.
Like, hey, you want to come watch a movie while I clean my entire house just so I'm not alone? It's like, I don't care what you do. Just, like, do whatever you want to do.
Good.
Like,
No, that's exactly it. Like,
maybe I should join that piece.
Jainism?
Yes.
Yeah. Well, I don't know how well you do with spiders. Be a lot of smashing and a lot of I don't even know if they repent. I don't think they believe in a God. I think it's just a philosophy.
That's what I couldn't deal with, philosophy.
Philosophy's fun, man.
Dude, you ask questions about everything. It's like a kid. Why?
I know,
Why?
and that's why it's intense. But
It's so annoying.
You ask the question of why, but it goes deeper than that. It goes further through the original question and statement, and it's an encompassing thing. Why is
the sun yellow?
This, like, you can take one sentence and then strip down every single word in that statement with
And that
why
seems like
and
so
figure it
much
out.
work.
It is, and that's why it's intense and awesome.
See, that's so much work. I choose to, like, watch a DVD.
That's just fine.
I'm really laid back, people. I like pizza and movies, Netflix, so hit me up.
So what about gay marriage then? Since we're still on homosexuality, obviously.
You know, I haven't done too much research. Like, I don't know too much about it, except for what I've been told by people, in all honesty. I haven't really come to a certain conclusion about it. I'm still up in the air, I guess you could say, where I could be persuaded to a certain thing. In my mind, marriage is marriage to begin with, and what I believe was, you know, many different things. It was that commitment with another person that you're also making with God. You know, that's what I believe. But to let someone, my mother's going to kill me, and so is my whole entire family. To not let someone get married because of their sexual orientation, to a certain extent, doesn't make sense to me. Because it's like, well, what if then people who don't believe in God shouldn't get married? If your whole argument for why gay marriage should not exist is solely based off the fact that it's a sin against God, so is not believing in Him.
And I mean, all the other things that people do and don't do according to the Bible anyway, which
that's
is numerous.
all a sin against God. Me having sex before marriage is a sin against God.
Wearing your clothes is a sin against God.
Very true. But there's just so many things, and it's like, it's to a certain extent where, like I said, it doesn't affect me. You know, let them do it. Like, I don't care. I'm honestly to that point where it's like, I don't care. I have my religion. I have my relationship with God that I am so happy with, and I am so glad that I have that. But I don't, like, do whatever they want to do. And what I don't understand is the argument people have with common law marriage versus actual, like, marriage. Or legally, I don't understand that.
Common law is like if you're together for so many years, you are considered married under the
So
state.
then that just doesn't make sense to me. Like,
say Kendra and I lived together for 20 years or whatever it is. Mm-hmm. Common law marriage would state that we're now a married couple. We receive all the benefits of which a married couple would do under the state or whatever state that we would be in. Ohio, Minnesota, New York, whatever, under that government.
Well, but some people are saying that gay people can have common law marriage, but they can't have the other kind of marriage.
Yeah.
That doesn't make sense because it's still marriage.
Yes, but after a certain amount of time, say...
Oh, I see what you're saying. But like it's common law marriage after 10 years or something like that.
Correct. They don't receive the same benefits that a married couple would initially.
Like I not pronounce you Chuck and Larry.
Right. I mean, basically, what I'm kind of gathering from your argument for gay marriages, you don't want to shove your religious practices down somebody else's throat. And that is exceptional because there are people that do that. Mm-hmm. and that is horrible for everybody else. So good. I think you found your stance on it. Everybody do whatever the fuck you want. I will support your happiness.
Yes.
And that's what it should be like.
Yeah. Like, if someone wants to, like, I mean, hell, if they want me to go to their wedding, I'll go to their wedding. I don't care. It's just don't, like, I just don't, like, if they're happy, that's all I care about.
Yeah. Fair. No, absolutely.
Like, but then at the same time, like, if I want to get married to a straight person, or if I want to get married to a guy, don't yell at me and tell me that I should marry a woman. Like, that's what I've done. That one kid, which I know is just one situation, but.
Right. And the same thing comes upon him as well. Say everybody's telling him to marry a woman because homosexuality is wrong.
Yeah.
Homosexuality is abhorrent to God, whatever it is. There is homosexuality in nature. It's been observed, it's been documented in pretty much most of the species out there.
Really?
Yes. Homosexuality and heterosexuality are not confined just to the human condition. Regardless, even if they were, it doesn't really matter.
I'm learning new things tonight.
Well, yeah, science.
Oh, I hate science. Oh, gosh.
I gotta pee. Give me a sec.
Okay. I lost something.
You can ask anything. What?
Why is your hair brown?
Probably recessive genes. No, they would be recessive if I had red hair. You know, red hair is actually, the further along we go in generations with red hair, the less and less red haired people there are going to be because it's an abnormality in our genetic code. It's actually really neat. So there's going to be there's going to be one red-headed person left in the entire world of billions and billions and billions of people.
So what's going to happen with all the Irish people?
Oh, we'll still have shitty red skin, but there just won't be any red hair.
Oh, okay.
We'll probably have like auburn hair or something. So, yeah, poor Irish. They're one trademark. That's all right. No more gingers. Gingers are soulless, as everybody knows.
Right.
I know. Well, where else can we? What else can we ask? What else can we find out? Is there anything that you want to just talk about?
So, I'm watching this show. I was, and then I stopped watching it. It's called The Bible, and it was, it took the major event from the Bible, and it, characterized, or put it in a movie or a TV show, whatever it was.
What major event?
It talked about Samson, who got his strength from, he was an Israelite, but he got his strength from God, but with super, super long hair. And if he were to cut his hair, he lost all of his strength.
Yeah.
That was the one major event. Of course, there was Jesus's death and birth and that stuff. Merry Christmas.
Wasn't born.
I know he was born in the spring, but that is besides the point.
Okay. Just want to make sure that we're
Yes, I know he was born in the spring.
aware that we have a
And I
holiday
also
based on paganism and Yule log. Just want you to let you know.
Well, and you also know what I found out?
Yeah.
That, they've always say the three kings visited Jesus the day of his birth. That is so false. They visited him. He was born in a manger. When they visited him, they went to his house.
And did he
was
move
2
to Nazarene?
years. No, they were still in Bethlehem when they found him.
And maybe moved to Nazarene.
Then he moved to Egypt because King Herod wanted to kill all the newborns. But it's just so false. I found that out, and I was like, I was like taken away because I was like, what? Like, he was 2 years old when they finally came to see him. My whole Christmas has just been shocked and just completely changed. But anyway, it's just fun kind of comparing like how the movie dictates certain events opposed to what I've read in the Bible. Like, for instance, of course, there's Jesus' birth. That's always been the wise men have always been there for his birth or right afterwards, which is so not true. And what was the other one? There was, give me a second here. I'm going to remember this. They did one on the book of Daniel. which he was a pretty interesting character. Very interesting fellow. But the stories they were doing, they were like, he was here for this and that. And it's like, no, he really was. Well, you don't have any proof that he was there because it did not say in the Bible. Like you flat out said, he's, the Hollywood version of taking in account certain stories. And I get why. I totally get why. But it's just
fit a certain narrative of, we want you to believe this, so that way this happens.
Yes. And it's just kind of, it still surprises me. I'm very happy when I can distinguish, like, this is not what is in the Bible. Like, I feel like that's a big step for me.
Yeah, it's...
Even if the Bible, as some people just say, is just a book. Some people say it's just a book, but then look at Harry Potter. You can't tell me that Harry Potter is, the movie is just like the book.
Well, no, but it's also just a book.
Okay, but I didn't say I believe that, because I don't believe that, but...
Well, which version of the Bible, then, is the right version? Is the King James version?
Well, I do believe that the Bible is not in the same... Part of me believes that maybe the Bible has been misinterpreted, because you can't tell me that everything, like, is word for word. Like, it's been translated from Hebrew, it's been translated from Greek, or whatever it was originally in. It's been translated, and we don't know. You can't. Maybe scholars can tell me this, but I don't see how the language difference.
Yeah.
Do we still speak the same Hebrew language now that they did?
We don't even speak the same fucking English now that we did 100 years ago.
Well, and that's the thing. So how do we, like, I still personally believe that it's the same, but it's not going to be the exact same from when it's written.
No, most definitely isn't the same.
No.
In which case, how close to everything is the Word of God in there if it has been translated and translated over the last 2,000 years? It could be 100% different.
It could be.
So how do you know that you're following the correct version of God's Word?
When I follow God's Word... follow very simple rules. I love God. I repent my sins. What I take as my sins are what I do to dishonor either somebody or God or something. If I dishonor something, I feel like that's a sin. Like,
well, sure, but who's to say that those are actually sins? I mean, say the Bible's been translated so many times. Mm-hmm. We know it has been.
Yes.
From languages that aren't used anymore.
Yes.
And we know that language changes. Language changes on a yearly basis, never mind 2,000 years.
Yes.
So let's say all of those sins are not really sins.
Okay. Well, because, like, if you look at sins from back then opposed to sins nowadays.
And it's all conceptual as well.
Yeah, because, like, back then, you could not have one of the biggest sins, sex before marriage. You were cast out, you were ashamed, you were a whore, you were a horrible person. Yet nowadays, people have sex left and right. It's more of a common thing.
Yeah.
And my grandma had a really, really good point about this, which is very shocking if anyone met my grandma. She says that God not necessarily looks past certain things, but he understands the society you're in.
How do we know that?
Well, you don't know that. That's the biggest thing is you don't know anything. Like, we don't know for sure 100% of anything, except for the fact that the sky is blue, which who knows? It's actually blue. Just saying.
It's not really blue. It's just a reflection upon water. That's why Minnesota has very blue sky. And you go on. Okay.
I did not actually know. But anyway, nobody really knows. So you can, like, people like who love philosophy can just question everything. But some of us just don't want to question.
Well, why not?
Because that's a lot of work and a lot of headaches.
It is. But there are people that do.
Yes, and good for them if they have the willpower to get headaches every day.
But why not question? You're able to understand more when you question. That's what I'm trying to say. If we didn't question, we wouldn't have microphones. We wouldn't have computers. We wouldn't be in space if we didn't question.
And I get that, but I'm happy.
Yeah, but I think you would be a lot happier knowing more.
Well, maybe if I study the word. I don't know why I just did that, but
I kind of understand what you're going for. You want a internal happiness.
yes.
But at what cost?
That
I know the lights
I'm
flicker.
sorry, it's scaring me.
Their LED lights in the dimmer switch is actually for incandescent lights, so it doesn't have the same whatever it is. I don't know at the moment. So
I'm thinking I need to call
LED
Dean
flare.
Winchester here and have him come over.
Oh my
Just
God.
saying.
I know what show you're talking about. That's a bollock show too. It's been on forever. What show is it?
Supernatural.
No.
Go get some salt.
Jesus. No, just kidding.
But some people. I don't know.
I would bet. I would kind of put money on it that if you looked internally into yourself and you saw that you were your own good person, because you are, and you put that faith or whatever it is that feeling has into yourself and to the people around you, that you would slowly shed whatever religion that you have at the moment. May not shed your belief in God, but you would shed the religion.
But you can believe in God and not necessarily, like.
Yeah, you can believe in God, but what God would it be? I mean, is it God lowercase or God of Abraham? Or is it any one of the India gods, or, whatever it is? Is it just a supernatural being that you want and hope to believe that there's something else out there? I think that is what most people really do believe in, but they put the religious text behind it to have, like you said, consistency. You have something to do. You have a community. But there's a whole bunch of communities out there that don't have to really be religion. Like there's an atheist meeting in Duluth that meets once a month, the first Sunday, weirdly as it is, at the Radisson. But they only do it once a month because we don't like to wake up early on Sundays unless we absolutely have to. But it's a little bit of a community.
Early?
I wake up early every day. I deliver mail, so I have to wake up early day.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
It sucks. I tell you, it's fucking cold out.
Sorry, making sandwiches with idiots who don't know how to cut bread without asking how.
Nope, don't want to. Did it. Works at Subway.
You know what I had to deal with.
No. But that would be a challenge that I would never impose upon somebody unless they were absolutely ready and they wanted to take the challenge of questioning their own faith.
Yeah, but you also have to be. I was not able to fully be believe in God the way I do now until I was fully ready to do that.
Well, what made you fully ready to believe in God?
Like I said that earlier.
That you needed that community, that you were depressed?
Yes, I was super depressed. Pills didn't work. Therapy didn't work. Nothing worked. And then I was able to find that happiness, that's something to look forward to.
Why not put that into something else, though?
Like what?
If you could think of something else that you could put that happiness into, I bet you it would work.
A dog.
Yeah. Put that happiness into a dog. Put that happiness as your reason to be. And I bet it would work. Because I did that same thing. It wasn't a dog, but...
It was a dog.
I put it into my own purpose. Because I have major depression as well. I took pills for it. I had to keep upping them. And
I just quit taking them.
You're not supposed to do that.
I understand that.
I did the same thing anyway, so I'm not one to talk. Shame on you. Do as I say, not as I do.
That's what I do at work.
Right. So I know what you're going through. We have a little bit of a similarity here, but I think that when we just kind of branched off in which way we take it. Now, I've been an atheist forever. Since forever. So we differ in that part. So I think what it really came down to is we found our different paths through different ways. You found yours through religion and the Holy Bible, and I didn't find mine through that. I found mine through making my own life its own good purpose to have, to find myself, as it were, I suppose you could say. To put it in terms of, I'm going to create meaning for myself. Nothing else gives me meaning. I'm going to give myself meaning. And I think that helped me personally a lot. But obviously, it's going to be different for everybody.
Yeah.
But I think if you maybe do the same thing, you might be able to not come to a different conclusion, but understand yourself a little bit more. But obviously, that's up to you.
I feel like this is a very interesting therapy session right now.
It is kind of a therapy session. We're doing a little bit back and forth, and that's good. This is a good conversation. We're going to keep this meta conversation going right now. But I don't know. I mean, it's obviously up to you.
Yeah, and I'm just... Why change something unless it's broke? I think that's the phrase, right? Why fix something that isn't broke?
To make it better.
Okay, well, we're not talking about your stupid cars.
No.
But
when something is good, we get complacent.
Yes.
Right? We get in a groove. We say, this is good. I'm going to stay here. It would be like the couch is comfortable. It could be more comfortable, but this is comfortable enough.
Where I don't feel like I want to get up and do anything.
Exactly. But if you make it better, there's always that strive to be better, to make things better, not only for yourself, but other people.
But see, when I'm in a good Bible study or something, like I did the book of Daniel at the New Hope, and the teacher was great, and I learned a lot. And then we skipped over a first part of a chapter. And and they said it was just super complicated. It was super confusing. You know, if you want to do it on your own. But it's going to take more time for us to go through this in a group. Then he's just like, it's a lot of like names and numbers and stuff like that. It's like a timeline. But it can get very complicated.
Sure.
So what I did is I had that passion to go into it. And I was able to make a timeline. And I was able to figure it out on my own, and it was great. It felt awesome. And what I did is I asked my pastor about it, and he said I got it right. So that was a good accomplishment for me. Now, I could have just sat back and didn't do it.
Right.
You know, just, everyone's going to skip through it. I'm going to skip through it. But something inside me didn't want to. I wanted to figure what that was. And so when I did it, it was awesome, and it made me want to kind of do that again. And then I got into work mode and I wasn't able to do anything. But it made me feel good for that one part that I was able to do something that our teacher didn't want to do.
Right. I bet you could do that to anything else, though, as well. It doesn't necessarily have to be the Bible, and you would get the same accomplishment for understanding something.
Yes, I do it at work all the time. When I figure something out on the till or the register and my district manager cannot figure it out, and I'm like, dude, I got this. I should have your position.
In which case, you probably should, to be honest. You work yourself to death.
That's a topic for another month.
That is a topic. I'm going to end up doing in February another topic, and I think I know exactly what it is, but I can't say it on here. It's going to be people just fucking bitching back and forth.
I
so it's going to be really
love
nice.
it. I still want to do one on millennials.
Yeah, we can do that.
I'll do one on millennials.
Okay. What's wrong with millennials? We're millennials.
They all suck. They don't want to do anything.
No.
Okay, I'm saying like yes, I get millennials, but I'm talking about people in my age group. I should specify that more.
You know what it is, though? It's the people who raised them. It's not the millennials' fault. You want to teach good work ethic?
My mom.
You get it from your parents.
Yeah.
It has nothing to do with the kid.
Well, it's because they were getting spoiled so much when they were younger that they didn't feel like they had to earn anything. Whereas growing up, we didn't even get allowance. We did our chores and we didn't get shit for it.
Yeah, same.
But then 16, you're sweet 16, where you're supposed to have fun and, get seat 16. We all got job applications and said, congratulations, go get a job.
Yeah, I did mine at 13. I got my first job at 13. So, yeah,
Well,
I know what you mean.
whoop-dee-doo.
I'm not trying to up you. I'm just saying, yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. Yeah, go get a job if you want some extra money. All right. Guess we'll do that. Anyway, so let's get a little bit back on topic. What else do we got? I don't really have any more questions. I'm just kind of throwing my hat into the ring and seeing what bites.
Fish bite.
Fish do bite.
In case that helped.
Do you have anything?
So did your parent, like, did your mom and dad, like, were they atheist, or did they believe in anything?
Yeah, my mom believes in God.
Okay.
She goes to, not regularly, she goes to a church up in Grand Marais somewhere. We didn't do so much religion that I can really remember. I do remember one point in time. So my grandmother lived across the street from the Elam Lutheran Church on Main Street in Elk River. Now, when we would go past that, when I was young, 5, 6, I would do the Trinity cross.
Mm-hmm. I still don't know how to do that. It's a Catholic thing.
It doesn't matter, to be honest. You're not going to get struck down by lightning, obviously. And she thought that was like, oh, good, he's so religious and blah, blah, blah. But that's the thing. You don't know what you're doing when you're 5 and 6. You don't. You have no idea. Most people don't know what they're doing fucking now, let alone when you're 5 and 6.
See, I still get confused on what this is. I think it's Father, Son, Holy Ghost, but I'm not 100% positive. That's
Father, Son, Holy Spirit.
Oh, okay.
Essentially. I mean, there's obviously more to that, but I'm not Catholic. I'm sure we would be able to pitch in on that. She's probably bitching at her phone right now when she's listening to this episode. But that was, to me, reflecting back on that is kind of funny because she's not really religious, but she was super happy that I was doing that. My dad, not so much. He was never really religious. He was very Eastern philosophy, spiritual, but then again, kind of that Deepak Chakra kind of guy who's Deepak Chopra.
Chopra.
Yeah, who's an inane fool.
What did I don't get him, but okay.
It doesn't matter. It'll be a religion someday.
I'm just thinking the love guru, so.
No, well, might as well be. It's just.
Sorry for all the pulp culture references.
So he was basically that. He was kind of an Eastern philosophy. Mom was kind of religious as she is now, but not very much. She maybe goes to church once a month. Maybe. I don't really know. But I think it is incredibly important to let your offspring believe whatever they want. Mm-hmm. Not to force people into church.
Okay, yeah.
Or to any kind of faith or religious thing. But that's just me. You can all do whatever the hell you want, because as long as your kids are nice to everybody and let people do whatever the fuck they want to, so long as you're not hurting somebody else, crazy go fucking nuts. But until it starts to hurt somebody else and until it starts to affect somebody else's life is when the line must be drawn, because you would not want that upon your own self. Yeah. Whether you think you're right or not, it doesn't matter. Well, I'm always right too, so we're going to have to draw a line in the sand. Fuck. I get hit with a guitar pick. So that's kind of my little bit of a background. I don't know of anybody else in my family that is an atheist. I think I am the only one, maybe one other person, but
are they all religious then?
Wishy-washy.
Okay, kind of just like that once. Is it that once or twice a year kind of thing?
Once or twice a year, I do have family members on my dad's side that do go religiously, as it were, as the word is coined from. They do go every Sunday.
Okay.
But they go to something that is a kind of a Unitarian kind of a church. It's very like, everybody is awesome. You're going to be okay. It's very progressive, as it were, in terms of societal human rights, which is fan-fucking-tastic because they're just cool people. So.
Alrighty then.
Yeah, that's a little bit of my background.
Okay. I did not know any of that.
Yeah. I'm a black sheep when it comes to this, I guess.
I think you're a black sheep when it comes to a lot of things.
This is true.
Like your black eyeliner that I found out you used to wear back in high school.
Hells yeah, bitches. I was okay at putting it on, too. It wasn't great.
I'm horrible at putting it on, and I'm a girl.
I will give you lessons.
Okay. Which reminds me, I need to go pick some more up.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't even know how to begin on how I came to the conclusion that there wasn't one.
So is atheist where you don't believe in it at all?
At all.
And you don't believe in anything. And agnostic is where you believe in something, but you just don't know what it is.
No.
Oh.
Atheism is atheism is strictly you do not believe in a god or gods.
Okay.
That's all it is. It doesn't mean anything about leprechauns. It doesn't mean anything about unicorns. It doesn't mean anything about anything else.
Leprechauns are real. Just on that.
Okay. They're in the Bible. I don't know. They got edited out in the.
Oh, you know what? It was probably
10th century.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah. Agnosticism say there is no way really to know one way or the other. Atheism takes a little bit more of a scientific approach on it, you could say, there's really chances are that there is nothing out there.
Okay.
Because it has not been proven, there's no evidence for it, and there's nothing to really support the claim of a god. There is no supernatural evidence. Had there been supernatural evidence, I would believe in it. Absolutely.
I do have a question for you then.
Yes.
I was talking to one of my residents
Okay.
years ago about that she was raised Catholic and then she got married. I found out a little bit of her backstory from one of her friends, but she got married and her husband didn't believe in anything. So she came to believe that, she became not believe in anything. And we were talking and I asked her a question about, well, what about parting of the Red Sea? Where when they've done, when they've gone into the Red Sea and nowadays they have come up with chariots and stuff like that. Or they've come up with different artifacts from that time era. So how would you account for that?
I would have to substantiate those claims and where you heard them from.
What do you mean?
Was it an archaeological dig? Was it geological?
Okay, I see where you're going.
I mean, anybody can claim something.
Okay.
Right? That's kind of what I'm getting at with the whole God thing.
Okay.
There's a unicorn on my right shoulder.
Yes, there is.
Is there?
There is.
Yeah.
It's pooping rainbows.
Just because you can't see it doesn't mean it's not real. Because I can see it. Mm-hmm. And it's telling me that everything else is false but the unicorn.
Okay.
You're just going to have to take it on faith.
Okay.
You see problem of I'm making a claim for something I can't prove, and now you're just going to have to believe it because I say it's true?
Okay. I do get what you're saying.
That's kind of the claiming thing here. Anybody can say that there's chariots in the middle of the Atlantic. Hey, that proves Atlantis was there. No. There's not chariots in the middle of the ocean where Atlantis supposedly would be. I mean, not to say that what you're saying isn't true, but it has to be.
How do we know it got there kind of thing? Like, how do we know for sure that it was from that incident instead of like a tsunami or a whatever?
Yeah, a hurricane, a tsunami, a tidal wave came through and there were chariots that were there, or
I see what you're saying, though.
They were being moved on a boat.
Kind of like.
And it sank, which is more plausible than I would assume an entire sea being parted by one man.
It was not by a man. It was by a rod. Get your facts straight.
Sorry. Essentially. See, if anybody was going to win a fight in a supernatural thing, it would be fucking Moses, because you know that guy is magical as fuck.
He has a rod. Okay, his rod could turn into a snake. It could part a Red Sea. It could turn a whole sea into blood. Okay? He would totally kick anyone's ass.
That's a pretty magical thing. And the thing that you have to also look for as well is where you're finding the information.
So I watched a movie or a show.
Okay.
Or something on Facebook, maybe. I don't entirely remember where I saw it. But it was something about Sodom and Gomorrah, where they think, and they can't prove this for 100% certainty, but they believe they found the site of Sodom and Gomorrah. Because the place is still, to this day, has, I want to say brimstone?
Brimstone? Sure.
Yeah. Where, like, they light it on fire, and it just, like, fucking goes.
Okay.
So they believe that's where they found it because they can't find any other explanation on why it's there.
And where's this supposedly again? Sodom and Gomorrah?
They believe that they found the site of Sodom and Gomorrah. Because in the Bible, it tells you that Sodom and Gomorrah was completely destroyed.
Yep.
What are you typing?
Oh, I'm going to find out why there was a massive amount of brimstone found in the Middle East. Also, the World News Daily Report, where the first claim of chariots found in the Red Sea. All news articles contained within World News Daily Report are fiction. Fake.
Damn it!
You can find it on Snopes.
I'm going to find it and set you up.
So why you always need to question about where you're hearing information of supernatural stuff.
Okay.
I mean, say aliens came down and blah, 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 whatever. Fucking sweet.
I think aliens come and did the pyramids, just throwing that out there.
No.
What the? Come on. There's no other explanation. There's no way that they had the mathematical... Well, actually, we don't know that. But it would be pretty awesome.
Did you know the ancient Greek had actually figured out geometry?
No, I didn't know that.
Yeah, they did. So
okay, so what about Egyptians?
Same kind of principle.
I heard somewhere. Where was it? I can't remember. I have a really bad memory. But I found out somewhere that they were able to get a lot of their information that they had back. I want to say it's in those time eras where there's just, the pyramids were being built and stuff like that, that they lost so much of that information. Because how many people can read hieroglyphs? That's what I want to know.
Archaeologists.
Okay, but not too many of them can fully. Like, how do they know that is exactly what it is?
I would imagine in the same kind of way that we know what letters of our own alphabet are and letters of the Greek alphabet.
Would you say it's just been passed down?
I would imagine in the same way that everything else has been passed down from generation to generation.
This table needs to stop shaking.
Yeah. Written record is easier to account for. Symbols, same kind of thing.
But that information that was back then is complete. Like, we can't access that information like looking it up on the computer. So to have that knowledge to create those pyramids with all those intricate... Help me out here. The word I'm thinking of, caves or...
Well, the hallways and the rooms on the inside.
I actually did graduate high school, people. I'm just not that smart right now.
Normally, whenever you're going to look up something that sounds supernatural, always start with science first. If it says .com, maybe if it says .edu, chances are it's going to be a little bit more reliable.
Did you find it?
Let's see. Livescience.com has it.
Popcorn.
What else do we got? I don't trust the sun.co.uk.
Yep, I trust it. It sounds worthy.
Get out of here. Popular Mechanics has it. There's a lot of information on how the pyramids were made. Chances are it was made.
Did you find out about the brimstone thing?
I couldn't find anything on it on a quick Google search.
Okay. Well, I'm going to try to find it, and I will let you know, because that was actually pretty interesting, because you could see the guy light it on fire.
Okay, so don't go to BibleArchaeology.com or .org. Probably not a factual news source.
How? Okay, fine.
Just saying. Or breaking Israeli news. I would say something about New York Times.
What's that?
Get out of here. It's apparently fake news, according to somebody.
It is.
No, it isn't.
It's completely fake. I don't believe it.
You don't have to. It doesn't make it not true.
It's just... I will argue that point. Just kidding.
Okay.
I don't want to argue that point.
Oh, we can argue that point. We can argue fake news all along. It's been around for a while. I'd say about 2,000 years.
Hey, now I got that.
I hit a
I
nerve?
totally got that.
I must have hit a nerve.
You hit a nerve.
Oh. Hey, I don't know if I've got anything else. Do you have anything else?
I don't.
You want to cut it?
Sure.
Okie dokie. Well, I think that about sums it up for the evening. All right. And as always, you can find us on Twitter, Instagram, not as often, and Facebook ever so frequently at a topic a month, where we spew insults and tell bad jokes. If you'd like to promote us by word of mouth, sharing the episode, or liking us anywhere other than your podcast app, that you would be awesome too. Throw us a $5 on Patreon and get a sticker. Merch will be coming sooner than I hope, which is still very far off. Thank you, everyone, and have a good night.